2 and 1. Hello and welcome to the preview of a massive day at Golden Slipper Day at Rosehill, Mark, and we are without Brent, who is at a massive day at Albury Cup Day today.
Yes, he's down south, but I can tell you at Rosehill tomorrow we've got the best looking program you'll ever see.
It's one of the best programs we've seen in Sydney. It's right up there, isn't it, for since we've been doing the preview show.
My God, what a card.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get into it first and foremost. We sit here Friday morning about 11 o'clock. Toss of the coin whether it rains at Rosehill or not. At the moment the track would be probably about a 3, would you say, Mark?
Yeah,
3 to 4?
The track's dry enough right now. It's but obviously there's a change coming through that will bring some precipitation with it. So how much falls at Rosehill in an hour's time is your guess. A guess.
It's that rainfall, as we often say, that over there it could have 10 mils and over there you could have none.
Yeah.
So it's
either way, I mean, all we've got is a track with the jar out of it.
Yes.
That's pretty much what you've got.
It really has been the perfect conditions this week, hasn't it? With the good rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, keep the hoses off, bingo, here we are.
Yeah. So rail going out in the 2 metre position, I mean, there are a few meetings to examine, and it tends to be mid-wide draws and sort of 3 off the fence is ideal. 2 might work, but off the fence. Last week we had a very benign track. I don't think it'll be as benign tomorrow.
Yeah, that's just in that sort of that range, and depending on what happens with the rain now. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. Race 1 is the Epona Stakes over 1900 metres. Very much in form. Heavens Above is favourite in front of All Cerise and Skyline Blush and Allegria.
Well, where's Brent?
Vergara.
We need Brent right now.
Why do we need
Brent? To talk about the weights.
The weights.
To talk about the Heavens Above, 6 kilos worse against All Cerise. Anyway.
Okay, that's why All Cerise is short. All Cerise will get sick of going around eventually, won't she? Anyway,
that was her chance the other day. She's late tomorrow. Obviously, All Cerise will kick up and will wish to lead. She goes from the position of controlling from a wide gate to being assailed on the inside. Because Skyline Blush is stepping up in distance and will be right there, and Vergara comes out of... Well, Vergara is a vexing horse in this race because she comes out of one of those fast run miles up in distance.
Yes. And that's again another little bit of a complaint for All Cerise as well too.
Well, yeah, but actually that was a very leisurely run race, the mile race a fortnight back, the lead up. It's just they ended up running pretty slow time and, you know, dashed home. Mary Lou's a wild card from out wide. If she can't get an early position, she may be forced on. Sweet Fire and Adorable midfield or just ahead. Allegria, drawn gate 1, won't be restrained to the tail tomorrow, I'd suggest. Certainly Heavens Above will be well back in the field.
What do we say? We'll start with Heavens Above, just flying, looks great, presenting beautifully every time, just a typical example of a mare in form.
She's going very well. She's going to 1900. I wish, you know, I'd sort of like to see her stay at.
Yeah, the 1900 here, it does put a level of complexity to it. Well, there's many levels of complexity to it, but it does just change things up a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, for mine, the different horses in this race are Adorable, Golden Switch. So she was poisoned by the inside there a fortnight back. In fact, 2 horses raced on the inside in that race, and they finished second last, or Adorable and Piermimi. So they're horses that can improve in the race tomorrow up against the same horses. And Vergara, I mentioned her before, she's coming out of a very fast run race last week, but it's also a pretty solid form reference. She hasn't seen 1900, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. But look, they were the 2 horses that interested me, and neutral about Heavens Above, keen to oppose All Cerise.
Yeah, I think Adorable didn't really parade all that greatly the other day. I was pretty keen on her going into the race and didn't end up backing her afterwards. So it was...
What, so she deteriorated from her previous run?
Yeah, she was on the back up, and just doing things on the back up you don't want to see. You want what she was doing without giving away the secrets. It was probably the opposite to what you wanted to see. Nothing severe, but you tend to really examine them hard into those circumstances. Is this a good thing for you or not? And I was saying it was probably not a good thing for her. So the 2 weeks between runs, I think, is there. And Yeah, she's sort of, it seems she's escaped the market a bit, hasn't she?
Well, I mean,
mark her?
I marked a 4 to 1.
Yeah. I think the double figure quote that's available is a little bit generous.
Well, look, it is 12 months since she won, and in fact, the only recent winning mare is Heavens Above, which will stand her in good stead. But the differences about this race that I'm looking for are, well, Gust of Wind comes from a different line, which doesn't seem to be doing a great deal, but you know, she did run 5th in the Melbourne Cup. Adorable I've mentioned, and Vergara, who's coming through a different line. But,
yeah.
Interesting race to start with.
Well, I think we both think Adorable's not a bad play at the price.
I guess so.
Well, before we get to the next race, got to mention this tournament, Mark. Geez, big one coming around in a fortnight's time for the championships, $250,000, and you can win your way into it on Saturday. We're giving away 50 tickets in that tournament. It's just at the moment I think there's 60 or 70 people in. That'll obviously grow, but say 200, 300 people in, you're a 1 in 4 chance of getting a ticket, an $1,100 ticket into the big one, which could win you $250,000. So, and plus there's $20,000 cash up for offer. Was it 12, 6 and 2? I think it is. So first 3 place getters. So you can get $12,000 as well. You're playing
as
for.
Well as getting into the big one.
This, I mean, we talk about the tournaments. This is a really great opportunity. Just $100 buy-in or $110 buy-in. To have a look at it, have a play on a huge day across Australia, and yeah, give yourself a chance of winning the prize, and as well as then going into getting a ticket into the big one. It'd be very nice to be able to go 2 weeks out. I've got my $1,100 ticket, and I can set myself up for a pretty serious crack at $250,000.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's so attractive to be able to get a ticket into that event.
That's right. So yeah, $250,000. So you can do it on Saturday. Like you're a 1 in 4 chance of probably about a 1 in 4 chance of getting into the tournament, into the big one. So just give it a try. Tournament, huge. Manion Cup, 2,400 metres. Libran, favourite, ahead of Dick, DIC. Morris, 460, or there are $5 or thereabouts. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, it's got some interest, this race. Obviously the breakneck speed that was set in the lead up by Beyond Thankful and Cafe Society doing the chasing. And DIC will obviously be part of the speed mix tomorrow. I guess they'll have to bag it off. I mean, they can't, you know, you can't pull that one again. And they're not drawn so wide as to need to get really dug up in the early stages. So we are looking at a breakneck speed lead up into a 2,000 into a just an honest 2,400 metre race. Having said that, there sort of looks to be 2 chances. There's the Libran, who's, you know, hitting the straps in very, very positive, ominous fashion. And then there's Dick, who's got the 2,400 metre lead-up run. You know, obviously it's a... Which
2,400 metre lead-up runs are... there's probably not enough of them in this race, is there, are there?
I think it's the only...
I think it's the only 2,400 metre lead-up, isn't it? And
another cocktail
has had the 2,400 metre.
In fact, another cocktail has been superbly prepared for this race.
It's very interesting odds, isn't it?
It doesn't look to have anything, another cocktail, but it's been perfectly prepared for the race.
Yes.
And DIC, you know, lacks the absolute form credential of Libran, but has got the better preparation again. You know, the 2,400 metre run. So I think they're 3 horses to note. And that's about all I want to say about the race. Well,
Libran has paraded only fairly the last couple of runs. Just was better last start than it was 2 back. And just starting to get a bit warm and leaving a few lengths in the yard. So I think it's got plenty of upside. It didn't do it first up, so it's not like it's you say that's the horse. So I think actually it will be a horse as it gets fitter. It'll actually present better. So it'll get fitness lengths as well as energy lengths as well too as it goes on. So. Definitely, and I think its best form overseas was 2,400. So, yeah, definitely rightful favourite, I would have thought. But another cocktail is very interesting. He sort of, Chris, a lot of the time with these horses, they sort of meander around. You think, oh yeah, you just carry a little bit of excess, and you're sort of not really looking like you're at the top. And he came out last start and you go, oh, hang on. he's now screwed down. And
well, he had that 2,400 metre run that was in that off a break in a brutal race.
A lot of scratchings, a lot of things, and the 2,400 metre runs, he was still a bit soft. Last week you go, oh wow, you've come on, and he was put to the sword last week. You know, the way that he went around them, or James I thought should have kept going when he went rather than stop, and he was still coming on the line, on the back to 2,400 metres. The video that I did with Fletch during the week, he said, you know, just forget another cocktail. Make him favourite. He goes around favourite every time. Again, he's escaped the market now, and he's yeah. I think this is the time to. If you've been on another cocktail, I wouldn't drop off.
Yes. Well, I was expecting last week when I saw him in that 1900. I said, "Hello, he's been prepared for the Manion Cup."
Yeah. I think you did, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. Well, here he is, and as we often say about these races, Mark, the favourites are too short, the outsiders are too long, and I think the price of him is probably a little bit long. Right, that's the Manion Cup. What's up with you apart from a 10 race card, an awesome card at Golden Slipper Day?
Yes, 10 races, and they didn't bother shifting the races forward. They just added one. They added the race on at the end, like when it's 6:30. I hope it's sunny.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, obviously this is a deep card that you'll want to get my thoughts, my comments, my betting plan for tomorrow. Sister card is at Kembla. 9 race card on Sunday at Wyong because they've got the one of the Newcastle races added. And then on Wednesday we travel to Kembla Grange for a Metropolitan meeting, followed by the Gosford Guineas Provincial Championships on Thursday. That's Holy Thursday. That's
Holy Thursday, yes.
The day before Good Friday, and then we're finally back at Rosehill for the
traditional Rosehill Easter meeting.
Oh God!
It does feel weird, doesn't it?
Terrible place to go to at Easter.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then let's back it up with Warwick Farm on Easter Monday.
Easter Monday's Warwick Farm, isn't it?
It's all a gala.
Perfect. All right, lovely.
So yeah, lots happening and lots tomorrow and lots through the week. Keep an eye on it.
All right. Race 3 is the Derby Munro over 1,200 metres. Counter attack back from Melbourne, $5.50, and the others are Flippant. Southern Legends in the market at $7, and Speak Fondly and Takedown are all the other ones. Other double figures with a Gypsum Thimble.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, Counter Attack apparently wanted to run in the Galaxy. Is that right? And couldn't get a start.
I think that's the case. Yes.
Yeah, and
I wanted to run last week, but he ran. But
so what happened?
He threw. Who was on him? Was it Boss?
Raiding Paulie, wasn't it?
I think I didn't actually see because we were on course, obviously.
Yeah.
So I threw Glenn Boss and then went for a little bit of a run.
Okay.
Yep.
And the fact that he didn't actually run in the race, does that count as the up and back 7 days?
It probably does, doesn't it? Yeah, because he sort of did go for a run around the course. So
yeah, anyway, it's quite juicy that he's in the race. For a field of this size, there isn't a great deal happening. I imagine that Speak Fondly will take it up. You know, she really seemed unhappy, cluttered up the other day at the 1,000, because you've only got sort of Southern Legend and Regatta Rebel. Ottoman stepping up from 1,000 could be part of the fray, but you'd say that Speak Fondly should cross those horses. Had Takedown and Wolf Cry in the next bracket, so doesn't look as fast as the lead up, the 1,100 a fortnight back. I've got Counter Attack midfield with Serene Majesty and Flippant. Really interesting race. Really interesting race because we've got, do you want to try the filly off such a well, a nothing run? You know, she was well supported off a good trial, Speak Fondly, and she just, I don't know what happened.
It didn't happen.
I guess, you know, you were expecting her in a different position tomorrow in the run. We've got a horse like Flippant coming back from good-looking runs in the Wyong Magic Millions and the Gold Coast Magic Millions. And at least she's got Bowman booked this time. But you remember when you were keen on her in the Counter Attack race in October when she reappeared?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't there. I mean, Winona rode her, but so her Sydney runs read. Her best Sydney run is second to Sempra Labibera on a Wednesday at Rosehill.
Yeah.
So that for mine is a curious aspect of this race. Southern Legend.
What have you made of it?
going very well, but he's won on 2 wide rails. You know, he's led on both occasions, so I'd suggest there's a certain hollowness to those wins there that should be taken into account. Takedown certainly went very well first up, and much better than he's gone in Sydney before, but he did it off a perfect run, like the.
And he was the one. Was it throat operation or something like that? The old first up after gelding, throat op, blah 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 blah.
Right. So you're suggesting that it was that's as good as it gets.
It could well be, yeah. It could well be. You know, it's the new toy. It's revved up, and look, for a big, he's a giant, and for a big boy, he was quite full first up.
Bindi Baker seems to have lucked out again. He drew 2 wide the other day, and now he's drawn 1 this time.
1 doesn't look good in a field of 18 here, does it? It looks horrible, especially for that type of horse.
Yeah, I'm not getting warm there.
And should say gun too. The male, because I've just come from the trials. The male, well, his thumb's not much good, so then we might be gun less.
Okay, so yeah, Bindi will be desperate for a high-profile scratching there to get a rider.
Well, where do you go to? And it's at 54.
Right. Yeah.
Problem. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So that's it's game on, isn't it? Look, I went to Counterattack because his Sydney runs are like awesome. Especially when you allow for the fact that he's drawn inside in a few of them.
Yep.
At Randwick, you go, shit. It's like, obviously it's not an ideal setup. Wolf Cry seemed to do something in the Hobart Bill that he hasn't shown us in Sydney before. Like, he showed some speed, boxed on okay. He's a disappointing horse, but I could look at him here, and as I mentioned, the filly Speak Fondly, who's in a race to pick her form up second up.
All right, yeah, I've got to go Counterattack. I've got a huge rap on Counterattack, and I was.
What price? He was 10 to 1, wasn't he, on the other day?
Shorter, I think. Shorter. I mean, that was in a Newmarket against Chautauqua. Yeah. So, no, I think he's a ripper. I really do. Obviously, it's not a great setup, but no, I'd be willing to Counterattack, and yeah, happy days. And I think $5.56 is a pretty good price for him when you think quality versus the rest. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, that is race 3. Race 4.
Now we start on the Group 1s.
The Group 1 start, yes, the Ramford Stakes. And Haraki is the favourite in front of Dibiani and Criterion to bounce back. Mark, what are we saying about the pace?
Well, it's just. Interestingly, Chris has got some sort of wild card players in this race. I mean, he's got his very, very well performed import that has queries hanging over his head about how he's handling Australia. Storm the Stars, second start in Blinkers, second up. We've got Cool Company in Weary, on the back up out of the 1500 last week. I don't know how that puts them into this race. It'll
be interesting to see how it does affect Cool Company's attitude, because he's just praised poorly. And I know a lot of people say, oh, that's him. But horses they can only run so fast. And the way that he parades, he's going, whatever his capacity is, he's going 2 lengths slower because of all the energy that he uses beforehand. So, when you're at this level, you just can't afford to be giving away those couple of lengths. But on the back up, if that's knocked out of him, he could find a couple of lengths.
He's not been past a mile in his life. It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You give him a 13 and a 15 to get him ready for a 2000. He's never a Group 1 2000.
Wonder if it's.
I mean, I realise that his overseas form is quite a young horse, so there perhaps wasn't the opportunity. But yeah, he seemed curious to me. There's only one horse that's had a good preparation for this race. And maybe she's not good enough, but Bohemian Lily has had the 2000, the brutal 2000 at Randwick, whereas all the others have had, just da-di-da miles or less. Criterion's had a 1300 metre race, and while he jumped up and won all types of good 2000 metre Group 1s, 12 months ago he returned in the Canterbury Stakes with a good run. Behind Cosmic Endeavour.
I'm struggling to get a handle on Criterion, because I think David Hayes has been pretty bullish during the week and all that sort of stuff. But there's every chance that you got to say, from what he's done, you've got to have it on the whiteboard that he's beaten up.
Yeah,
as a distinct possibility, and what we saw first up only got that underlined and highlighted.
Yeah, so he's he's an entire, and his last 2 starts. Now I know it's the big race at Hong Kong and an unsuitable 1300 back on the inside at Randwick, but both runs he has done zip in, coming off his 3rd placing in the Melbourne Cup. Look, he's
second in the Cox Plate.
Yeah, jury's right out with him.
Yeah, I know. That's where I'm sitting too, mate. I'm saying, like at his best he wins, but yeah, I'm playing it that way. I might be wrong.
Mongolian Khan has well, he turned up and showed a beautiful amount of pace at Randwick in the 1600. 3 weeks later, he's had a trial at Warwick Farm since, but he just didn't. He wasn't allowed to do anything. Yeah. That's weird. I thought, give him a bit of a standout.
Give him, especially after what he did first up. Yeah, I know, exactly. Again, jury well and truly out.
So I can see why players are, targeting Haraki, who, at this stage of his preparation last time with Magic Man on him was getting, out slugged by Jay McDonald on Complacent. It was a pretty decent run, and you would think if he ran up to that, that's good enough to win this race. He's pretty obvious, I suppose. Dibiani's done nothing wrong in his 2 runs, although he doesn't look good enough. But I mean, he's
progressing.
His 2 runs back have been, and of course he's the stablemate of Criterion. And I mentioned the Bohemian Lily, who was thereabouts first up with them. I think that started shorter than Iraqi, longer than Dibiani. Just astern of them in the Apollo. And then went to the 2000 and chased a brutal pace, so I'm giving her a chance. Okay. I didn't really see the United States in the race.
It can run serious numbers when it's right, but it's backing up off the trip.
Yeah, it's
backing up with the trip, I should say.
Yeah, an unusual preparation. So yeah, a race of quandaries where you'll be asked to take quite a skinny price Iraqi and maybe all right.
Yeah, that's about it's about that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 3rd up against J Mac. It has been on Winx's back twice.
Yeah. I should make the point. I think it has been mentioned a bit about it. Him compared to early in the preparation last time, the way that he's presented, it's a different horse. He really did take. He took until that run where he did fight out with Complacent to come good. He's been good the whole way through. I think both times, whether it was in the chat room or through Glenn, and I'm pretty sure Glenn's both times said he's playing the races back in at the place because he's just picked himself. So yeah, whilst he is getting ready and all that, I wouldn't be factoring in a huge leap of improvement this time because he's been pretty well on the mark.
Okay.
Right. Cool. Anyway, that moves on to race number 5. Before we do, we've got to talk about our great man Fletch. We're promoting him around now a weekly video. I think we sort of morphed into now, Mark.
Yes, you and Fletch together, the team.
Yes, it's a good team. It's good to have on board Fletch. The one thing Fletch knows now, he knows how to win at betting at horse racing. Simple as that. That is his skill.
He's just a freak.
That is his skill. He is, when it comes to winning at wagering, there is none better than Fletch. And both his services are all in profit mode, whether it's the race by race one you're after in Sydney or Melbourne or both, or the $20 service which comes out of a Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. And as lucky subscribers found out, a bonus set for Adelaide Cup Day, sans Kembla on Monday, where he sent 2 from 3 winners out. They're just as a little fill-up. So whether you want the $20 service or race by race, the race by race one is really, really good. You get a great feel for what horses are about to be crunched, and also plenty of winners throughout the afternoon. So give it a try. $99 for the pair or $55 for the single meeting, Sydney or Melbourne. Race 5 is the George Ryder Stakes. Winx is the odds-on favourite. Press Statement and Turn Me Loose are next. It was when you were speaking about Black Caviar, Mark, and I saw this market and saw some of the prices next to some of these horses, that Black Caviar made good horses start very long prices.
Well,
and like Happy Clapper, $34 or thereabouts, even better in some places. I did see what it did for first up, and it's that. Well, I suppose it has to be, doesn't it? But
It's
you know, like
I'm so pleased she's in this race because it shines a lot on this race.
yes,
It shines a lot on the horses and her as well. So we have a situation here where Turn Me Loose is drawn perfectly for him. He's third up, drawn the outside, takes it up. Hucklebuck makes his Sydney debut. Turn Me Loose has been here before for a trial. Hucklebuck looks to settle on the speed. Press Statement I didn't have too far away, and I'm not sure how the others sort themselves out.
What does he might end up from the wide gate? Does he go back to the tail of the field, or?
I don't know what he does. Maybe First Seal takes the opportunity to get one at one back. Obviously, Chris has had to throw 3 of his big guns into this race as well.
Yeah.
No keeping them apart.
No, that's right, and they've all got every reason to win too. Yeah. So.
And the juiciest stat of the day is
Okay. Here we go.
First Seal v Winks, 5 zip.
Oh, of course.
5
zip. I hadn't even thought of that. There you go. So I was just talking with Shitty before. Right, $1.60 Winks or thereabouts. This is a good odds-on favourite to have because I think she's probably at a. If you're in a camp, she's at a price you can still back her.
Yep.
But if you're not in a camp and you can make cases for a couple of these, you're getting good odds to try to beat the champ. I normally look at odds-on favourites and this is a good one to have.
Yeah, because it's there'll be camps.
Yep. Okay, what camp are you in?
Well, I'm in the Winks camp, and I think if I was to look elsewhere, I'd be looking at First Seal because she's third up into this race, as most of them are, but she's third up into this race off finding the fence last time at Randwick. Somehow Kermadec drew gate 1, but somehow Kermadec was outside her in the run. I didn't understand that. Anyway, so First Seal, third up into this race. All of them have got some sort of turn of foot, so I shouldn't make too much of that. But she was the other place I was looking at. Whereas Press Statement, he has no depth to his form. I mean, he's got short odds in his own age, but and I excused him the other day because he was trying to win that race second up, and had circumstances go against him when he wasn't fully tuned. But I want to see Press Statement tomorrow. Kermadec's only second up into this race, and I'm not sure if he's good enough.
Yes, that's a very good point, I think.
And Turn Me Loose is a little ripper, isn't he?
Serious horse.
Yeah.
Can go.
Yeah, he did seem well set up the other day.
He did, but those races, geez, they're strong. They're just that group of that horses. They produce strong races, and the form sticks.
See how Turn Me Loose goes.
And he probably gets the favours too.
And obviously, Happy Clapper will be ticking over nicely for the Doncaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't that a good run?
Yes.
Okay, so I could easily end up Turn Me Loose, but it just scares me. Like, Winks is coming through, obviously grand finals at Queen Elizabeth Stakes Day, but if she does what she did in the Cox Plate, she's unbeatable. Nothing can beat her.
Yeah, she's
so you just
got the A-grade turn of foot in Australia,
and not that and that is so far above what anyone has done for a while, and so far above what she's done. But it was the first time that she was pressured into doing it. So you sort of say, well, you got to almost say that is she can do that if asked. So whatever she's asked to, she can do, and that's where
how much advantage did she get from her fence position? Do you remember Moonee Valley was the famous up the inside day?
Oh, and as Glenn says, it looks like it was a one-goer in a Cox Plate too. Everything went, but at the end of the day, she still did it.
Oh my God! She just keeps oh my godding me.
That's right, and that's where it's scary trying to oppose her, is because that every challenge that she's been asked for, she just says, well, what do you reckon?
Yeah. I mean, the turnaround was when First Seal was on the slide. So she came back and won the far lap in a very, very slowly run race. She showed that turn of foot that we're now very familiar with. And then Tommy Berry just completely slaughtered her in the Storm Queen in the Vinery. Is it the Vinery?
It's 2,000 metres.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Vinery.
And then she had to go to the Oaks in the Slogfest,
the
2400 metre race. So she hasn't seen a setup like that and won't see a setup like that, I imagine, again.
No.
Since then, she's been unstoppable.
Beautiful. All right. Well, your winks. I want to be turn me loose, but I don't think I can be. But it's an interesting race.
Yeah, he's offering himself, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He is. But unfortunately, she's there. Well, fortunately, she is. It makes it a great race. All right, Mark, the little $15. We've got a little $15 package for the little champion. There they are. Just continues to keep on. It's been going for, I think it's over 16 months. Almost 10% profit on turnover, and that's just based on level staking. If you were staking properly, it'd be more than that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the distillation of the best bets from around the punter show. Just put it together, a bit of a feel for it. It's not always from the sets too. It can be, you know, if there's a bit of mail flying around that we can gather early in the morning from various sources as well too, that they can go into that as well too. But you'll get about 10 tips of a Saturday, and they're winning ones. It's easy, it's just a set and forget type thing, and we've coupled that up with the daily shots, which had another $6 winner, which is a 30% profit on turnover, if you don't mind, in the last 8-12 months or something like that. So
competition is fierce.
Yeah, so it's just $15. They're just straight line tips. There's nothing fancy to them, but they're winning sets. That's what's fancy to them. So and they give you a good chance of good odds too. There they are. Said it's really well balanced. You'll have some good things, and you'll have some things at good prices that normally run good races and give yourself a big chance. So for $15, you might as well try them out. It doesn't cost you too much, and you'll make that out of the first week easily, whatever size of punny you are.
There they are.
There they are. Thank you, mate. Well done. Rosehill Guineas over 2,000 metres. Tarzino is the favourite from La Romaine and River Wild and Vanbrugh and Jamaica.
Well, this race just leaves me cold because they offer you this silly Randwick Guineas mile race, fast run mile, into this 2,000 metre race. It doesn't inform you.
No.
And a bit the same for the Australian Guineas as well, although Australian Guineas tends to have horses that have set themselves up as stayers.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, well, Vanbrugh went down for that one. I don't know why, but he did go down for that one. So, as I say, it really left me cold. I mean, obviously, Tarzino has got a bit of a reputation as a stayer of promise. If we go back to the Moonee Valley Cox Plate Day, where Shards went out to that long lead and Jamaica, pinched ground and reeled him in before she went on to win the Oaks. And Tarzino started equal favourite with Jamaica on that day, but was poisoned by the track, and then he went on to win the Derby. That's a point of reference that I think is significant. I didn't pay a lot of attention to their runs in the Australian Guineas the other day. What did you make of Jamaica?
Not much. I thought Jamaica was taking up a bit too much market percentage. That was my overall feel of that. I mean, it was okay. She's this Oaks winner that looks like she might have just been in the right place at the right time a few times. I couldn't possibly have her that on those prices. I doubt you would either.
No, I haven't.
No. In the ranking orders, she's well behind the main boys.
Yes, remember this race last year, which was fed from a very tiny Randwick Guineas, and it was a tiny Rosehill Guineas as well, where we had the two Kiwis come over, Golding Khan, Stock and Barrel, and we had Preferment jump off nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at Vanbrugh going...
I'm liking Vanbrugh,
Yeah. He's the horse that... See, what I'm trying to say is those mile lead-ups, you're probably better off just going, well, they ran in them.
Yeah,
that's the right race to run in.
Yeah.
How much notice am I going to take what they did in them? So
and maybe taking too much notice, you're suggesting it's fraught.
Well, they're just such different races.
Yep.
So Vanbrugh appeals. Obviously, Tarzino looks to have a good chance. And Oso Splendido is another wild card. He's a Kiwi maiden that ran in their derby. He's back from their derby, and I could have a look at him. River Wild, I'm interested that he's going to 2,000. I'm a bit perplexed by how little pace he's shown at the mile. He jumps out and leads in a 1,200, sits outside in a 1,200, then suddenly can't keep up in a 1,400.
Yeah.
Then goes down for a 1400, misses the start.
Misses the start with his head being held.
You know, like he's midfield. In
sort
the,
of
in
back
the mile.
on the back of the
I suppose he's desperate for a step up in distance, but he's an interesting horse.
Yeah.
Montaigne is having his 6th run in his first prep.
6th run first prep. Yep. Round he goes again. Yep.
Obviously unlucky the other day, but you know. And Le Romain, I'm surprised that Chris Lees is trying this one on.
Okay. What distance?
Well, look, I mean he's raced beautifully in every run this campaign. It's his 2nd campaign. He's doing everything you could possibly want, but I don't know hard spun that well, but I know that the dam, she was a poxy little 1200 metre chitty thing of Snowden's, the Ingham, Darley, whatever it was there back then.
Looking at the breeding, mate. Hang on,
Mignard, yeah. It was just one of those terribly rubbishy fillies that that yard is full of.
Yep.
And there's no stouts there. So I mean, you know, look, good luck. You know, he's had a great run of success, Chris Lees, and good luck. But I don't see Le Romain just graduating to 2000 like that. He's in this race because he won the Guineas.
Yeah,
I can't imagine it was on his program.
It's just what you do. Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I'm back to where the original point. I'm with you with Vanbrugh. I think I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He might have some ability after what he did late in the prep last time, and yeah, just warming up. I was surprised to see him in the Australian Guineas. I suppose maybe Chris wanted to add the trip down and trip back to it, because I think my comments to Warren before the race was I would be surprised where he would be right for the Guineas, just seeing what he was first up.
So he's going down there with no chance.
Probably not.
Which
no.
Seems a bit strange.
That's right, exactly. And he raced great for what you wanted to see. So yeah, no, Vanbrugh for sure. I think that's great points. The Golden Slipper is the main race, and of course Mounting Yard Mail. How can you breathe without it? 2-year-olds, all that sort of business. Glen in Sydney, seeing them like baseballs. Warren Huntley in Melbourne for Bendigo, the away meeting Bendigo Cup Day. Is it Bendigo Cup Day? No, it's the Golden Mile and all that sort of business. But yeah, it's
Bendigo. Feature day at Bendigo. It's their autumn day.
Autumn feature down there. So Warren and Sydney in action, of course, with Mounting Yard Mail. Longines Golden Slipper over 1200 metres. Extreme Choice is the favourite in front of Flying Artie. Capitalist next pick, and Kiss and Make Up the ones under double figures.
Right, so we've got the lure drawn the outside. That's always something you love to see. Not quite the outside. Scarlet Rain is drawn one from the outside, and Astern is Astern of her.
Yes, oh no. Aaron, you'll be able to see a video up of Aaron talking to Jonas O'Donnell. He basically said that he's just going to come. He's not going in with any thoughts because he thinks the horse is a galloper, and he's just going to play the ball on its merits. I think is his game plan.
Well, he is drawn outside her, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And it trialled fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like Telperion trialled as well and trialled nicely. Astern trialled amazingly.
I reckon I would have been pretty. I reckon he could well have been the one if he had had the run. But I do want to see him parade well.
Anyway, I was Astern of Astern initially, but I'm definitely in Astern's
I was really looking forward to him running the other day. Really looking forward to him running.
Extreme Choice has got very, very good speed and would lead if asked to. But I imagine that he just takes the trail. Obviously the two headliners from the Blue Diamond, they streeted the others. That's good. I don't know what to make of the fact that Flying Artie looked such a big run, and whether that's drag on Extreme Choice or not. But that's something you could. That's a way of looking at that race. I think Kiss and Make Up has got a lot of scope. Good Standing's got a lot of scope, although I prefer not to see it second up in this race.
Second up 3 weeks.
And he was a winner on a wide rail. So, but I've been quite kind to him. And give him a good chance. Obviously, there's a lot you can say about this race. So I'm a little bit against the Victorians only because I always am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to be.
I'm against Defcon. Pro Kiss and Makeup, Pro Astern, Pro Star Turn, who has his first run on his home track and also trialled very well. So this is like the home and away. This is he's been away to meet Extreme Choice and Flying Artie. They both trained at Caulfield.
Yes.
To come back to Rose Hill. Capitalist, I ended up being anti, but
yeah, I think so.
I wasn't always going to be. Good standing pro, Telperion pro a little.
I think Duff likes Telperion.
You know, it's third up with the blinkers on, the trial since, and you know, got back on a day you couldn't race back. No French Fern. I have to give it to Scarlet Rain because she just looks like a horse that would get chewed up.
Does, but how many times have we seen horses like that at Gaze and then they run third? She'll run a place.
Okay.
Like, and I give her none. Absolutely none. Yeah. She'll be there. The 200 metres you'll be going, oh, Gaze done it again.
Calliope was a terrible win the other day, but I ended up making her $16 and I think she's got to be longer than that. Yankee Rose, good on you, Dickie. You just, let's try this. Oh, she won 2 races. Oh, she's qualified for the slipper. Let's presume.
There's a lead up into the.
But her trials, I don't know. Her trials were pretty bad before she debuted. They've been bad again. Sweet Cherry, who cares? Honesty Prevails. I can't get rid of this horse. I know she'll be huge odds. She was in the quicksand the other day. Quick Feet no and Mo Queen no. Fascinating race. I've tipped Kiss and Makeup. Probably my more sensible tip might be Astern.
Okay, yeah. I'm not overly happy with him. Well, obviously, it's not the trials of that. I would much rather see him third up into it because I think mainly because I just wanted to get a feel for what he was, and I thought we were going to get a good feel for what he was the other day. Not having the run, I worry how he's going to parade. He can't parade how he paraded with his win first up and win this race. He can't give that away because he was really starting to get agitated, really tight, and he can't do that and win this race. So, but that could have been just because he was fresh and it was new. But yeah, that's a big point for him. But if he does come out and parade perfectly like he did at his first run, well, different story. I like Flying Artie. I just think third up, second prep is the better setup of the Melbourne 2. I worry about Extreme Choice, who has got the clear best numbers in the race. I'll worry about whether it can do it again. As you know, that is it fourth up first prep? It's sort of half is.
Yeah, but it'll let up. You know?
But it has been a long journey. So, you know, I mean, it's nowhere left, is there? So, Flying Artie on the up, D Oliver, that's not a bad fallback option. And Good Standing is the other horse I like, but as you said, I'd rather it third up as well too. But James Cummings is doing a terrific job with his horses. That horse did have a fair bit of improvement left up it, but he would have had to put a bit of work into it, which is probably a tricky thing to get right. There's one person who gets it right all the time. That's why she's won 6 of them. Then for the rest of it, it is a balancing act. So, but anyway, I'm Flying Artie, Good Standing, Extreme Choice. They're my 3.
Right, that's the Golden Slipper. We've still got a Group 1 to come,
which is the Galaxy, and our favourite is English, ahead of Fell Swoop and Terra Vista and our boy Malachi.
Right, so we've got this freaking challenge as the lead up of this race, which just doesn't work.
1,000 metres, just put the pen through it, don't you?
Well, it's just, you know, be careful, don't you know, be careful taking what you saw at Randwick to Rose Hill.
Yeah, especially Randwick.
We saw a Sweet Idea win this race last year, first up. It's not a bad race. You know, you're not supposed to be able to win Group 1's first up, but obviously at distances that are short enough, it can happen. And
when you've got 1,000 metre as the main leader.
Yeah. So you know, we've got Terra Vista coming out of a 1,000 metre race, the Lightning, which didn't exactly work for Chautauqua going to the Newmarket. We've got you know, a host of runners from the Oakley Plate as well, which is one of those races. that drives me mad. We've got Malaguerra, who's built up this amazing winning record, trying to get a start off a 1,000-metre run as well. So, what is the answer? The answer is that I've tipped Famous Seamus.
Oh, mate. Yes.
Well, he gets James McDonald. He resumed at 1300.
Yeah.
On the 6-metre rail at Randwick, and 3 weeks later he comes back to 1100 and draws appropriately. Gun rider, and he's up against Challenge Stakes form.
Yeah, very cool. I'm never going to bag Famous Seamus.
No. English returned nicely, but I'd want to see her again. Fell Swoop is a bit of a marvel. I think he's got an amazing looking record. That I think he may have only his losses, of course. We saw him win that amazing win against Charlie Boy on Underwood Stakes Day, was it? Vic Cup Day, whatever that day was. Anyway, his 3 losses are first up. He has won once first up, but other than that, so he's undefeated when he's not first up, whatever that means. So look, Matthew Dade, you've got to. There's another. I suppose Gun pick up an emergency rider here.
Yeah.
Maybe G-Boss.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's assuming you Anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you got anything to say about this?
I couldn't work it out, to be honest, I couldn't work it out. I'm not going to argue with Famous Seamus, as I said.
It's 50 to 1.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the first time he's done it, is it? I sort of started to try to look for our boy Malachi, and I then thought, no, well, I don't think this race is going to set any great standards for smashing data or anything like that. So it probably gives him a chance.
Because we've got a few horses in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
so Ball of Muscle, obviously with the blinkers on, is set to lead. And Lord of the Sky's drawn underneath him, so he just sits there underneath the speed. Fell Swoop handy. Our boy Malachi revved up to go and chase our Ball of Muscle, and Malaguerra could lob into a nice spot.
Well, Malaguerra is probably the one, but I mean, it's not going to get a run, is it really? But anyway.
Maybe.
All right, moving on. So I don't really have an opinion, you don't really have a strong opinion, but Suggest Famous Seamus might be the decent bet.
Yeah.
All right, race 9 is the Birthday Card Stakes, and Hot, White and Handsome here. Brook Road sharing it with Sultry Feeling, sharing it with Perignon, and Geronte not far off them in the Market Stakes.
Geronte, yeah, who didn't win this race last year. She won the Randwick race that Savaro won last year. 2 Blue leads here, and she's been revved up with her trials. Tongue tie on first up. 2 Blue at Rosehill is a little beauty. She did run second in the Golden Pendant.
There you go.
That's the second best mares race at Rosehill.
Okay.
Catkins was favourite, remember?
No, I really
Peeping
don't.
won the race, right?
Yes.
Peeping got home over the top of 2 Blue, and Catkins was odds on, and disappeared. There was the start of the end of Catkins.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, that was they ran second in that race.
That's the Golden Pendant. Yeah, okay. 2 Blue ran second in that race. She resumes here. She's had 2 stern hit-outs in trials, and she leads here. Flashing Speed I have coming across, but I don't know if they'd like her to be ridden that way. Possibly One More Zeta, possibly Sultry Feeling. There's 3 horses candidate for chasing 2 Blue out there. Underneath them we've got Lake Geneva holding the fence, and Visalay, who I don't know very well, but she can be handy. There's a fair few back markers in this race. And I didn't want to find Brook Road because it's 1200, but I mean, she's been primed for the race.
Yeah, positive rider change if it stays.
Well, S. Clanton against Bindy's horse, they're first up. Trial since, Gun booked, probably not going to ride, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Sultry Feeling went really well first up. Kept fresh, trial since. Great chance. Perignon I don't like.
No.
You know, she was in the right place at the right time.
That's the way I
three-year-old
look at it.
fillies.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it, yeah.
And I don't know about Griante. She hasn't won since that race last year, so I mean, Cradle Me. I don't really like Blouses drawn where she is. And Savareau, right place, right time the other day.
You know, like race and all
like
that, yeah.
Perfect run. Bring Me the Maid is a skunk, but if you want to have a look at her Sydney runs, they're about 50 million times better than any other runs. Last seen running second to Delectation in the championships, beaten that far. Admittedly softer track, which is her want, but some of her best runs have been first up, and you know, I hate the horse, but she's well placed here. And thought Lucky Can Be did a good job there in the lead up, that she could poke around there. Anyway.
Alright, lovely. What's the whack up?
5 from 8. But,
5 from 8. That is Brook Road from Sultry Feeling, and we'll get into less sultry feeling if a bit of rain comes by. We'll get the Newcastle Newmarket here. Race 10. Ecuador is favourite there from Nancy, and Sadler's Lake and Bull Point are the next picks.
Oh, it wouldn't be a race it wouldn't be a race meeting if Nancy wasn't well found.
Yes.
Will Religify starts? Chris scratched it on Wednesday, but hasn't yet scratched it, but has left it without a rider. I don't know what's happening. I don't even know. Does he actually know that this race is being run?
Exactly right. He's just working out in the morning.
So you know, if Religify were to start, I'd have it leading. You know, 28 days since leading all the way here at this distance. Other than that, I'd have probably River Lad and Bull Point going forward. Artistry, Ecuador, Lunar Rise and Nancy's not far away. Sadler's Lake resumes here with the blinkers on from gate 1. Certainly Omen, Queen of Careba and Amavasio out the back. River Lad improved markedly the other day, racing up on the speed when he had winkers back on. So he's had 3 runs back for Chris Lees, ready to do something. Ecuador did enough in the Group 1. Just rises slightly in distance, and Bull Point's trialled since his form turnaround at a mile. Looks an interesting runner. Artistry went okay first up, got to be a chance, and I've had enough of Nancy, but maybe I'm too soon. So that's the Newcastle Newmarket. That's at the end of a very deep.
Long. Very deep day, yes, exactly. Yes, the Newcastle Newmarket. There it is.
So yes, pick them up in the morning.
Yeah.
And
do your best.
You'll get all the stuff that I've spoken of today fleshed out.
Beautiful, lovely. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy Golden Slipper Day, and we will be back with the Punters Show on Monday, talking about the 2016 winner of the Golden Slipper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.